spouse who travels, whatever it might be, to get a hold of your senior adult parents. We have satellite phones at worldviewtalk.com, and you get the satellite phone for free when you sign up for their very reasonable payment programs for the service. Sign up for the service with a reasonable contract, get the satellite phone for free. Worldviewtalk.com. You'll also find they have, well, what I now have, which is a solar generator. Yeah, I have a gas generator, an LP propane generator, but what if that goes down? I want to back up to my backup. So I now have a solar generator as well. You'll find them at worldviewtalk.com. Check it out today, worldviewtalk.com.
Welcome to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for joining me today, Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. I feel like I repeatedly say Tuesday, this date, and we're back, and then I skip Wednesday and Thursday. I'm sorry. I won't even say it. Lord willing, we're back. We're live on worldviewtube.com, WorldViewTube, Rumble, and X, and WorldView, which is available for free. All you need to do is go to your App Store, look for it, and download it, turn on your notifications, and you're set to go. We're also live on X America News on X and all my platforms on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, X, and Substack. We're live, so I will check on the comments soon. And I actually forgot to ask Thomas before we start if there's a chance I could possibly go a little over, because I was pretty sure you guys are going to have a lot of comments about the topic today. But perfect, I just got confirmation that is fine. We have the green light to go over, so we might go over, guys. Before we get to the topic, Lord has timing. Let's talk about the good news first. The book is officially launched. The Qur'an Paradox is now available on Amazon on all 4 formats for everyone who asked. Hardcover, paperback, Kindle, and audiobooks are all available inside the same page of Amazon. All you need to do is go to Amazon, look up Qur'an Paradox, or just look up my name. One page will come up and you can pick your format. If you like to pick up a signed copy, all signed copies are hardcover. You can go to my website, liveuptofreedom.com. On the homepage, you'll see the cover of both books. It will take you to a page where you can either order just the Qur'an Paradox or just the Architecture of Jihad, or the bundle that I put together for both to be picked up at the same time. I forgot to mention this last week. It was brought up to my attention via text from a dear friend. I do apologize. The quantities are limited per order. You can go back and buy again, but in one checkout, all you get is one of each copy. So praise the Lord, it is out, and even further praise the Lord, because in 24 hours, the Qur'an Paradox made its way to #1 new release on Amazon inside the category of the Qur'an. I will say this, guys. It is so amazing to step into their own backyard and steal the show. So again, praise the Lord. And thank you for all of your support and for everybody who grabbed their copies, because the only way you make it to a #1 new release is when you sold a certain amount of copies within the first 24 to 48 hours. So thank you. Thank you for picking up your copies. If you haven't, as I said, all formats are now available. The audiobook is my voice and Michael Lauber's voice. That was a question someone asked. Yes, this one is my own voice and Michael Lauber, who did the foreword and the chapter titles and all of the verses of both Bible and the Quran. It's his voice, and I read the body of the book. Audiobook, Kindle, as I said, hardcover and paperback are available. It is pretty amazing. I'm already getting some interesting comments and pushback against it. But well, that was the whole point. The point was to try to see if I can get a reaction, and we're getting some reactions. That's good. And with your support, hopefully we get more reaction. And remember, if you do make a purchase from Amazon in whatever format, when you read the book, if you see it worthy, please go back and leave a review. Those reviews could be very crucial for the first 2 weeks of the release. There we have it. The Qur'an Paradox is now available in all formats. LiveUpToFreedom.com or Amazon are your options. I try to keep them very limited in 2 locations so you don't have to go Googling or searching. Now, let's go because there's a lot to talk about. I'll talk about the book again, I'm sure, because I need to repeat the name of the book, at least until it becomes registered in everyone's memory. Before coming on air, I don't know, maybe an hour before coming on air, the material for the show was sent in a few hours ago, earlier today, and the idea for the show was not here until about 2 o'clock in the morning last night. However, at about an hour before coming on air, I saw a notification, and then I double checked, and it was confirmed that earlier today, Dolly Parton passed away. May she rest in peace. I will pray for her family, her fans, the loved ones who are mourning her loss today. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that I was a fan of her. I didn't follow her. She has one song that, though I very much dislike the lyrics because I don't believe in begging the other woman to leave so you can keep your man, because there will be always another woman who's going to take the man who's not yours. But the performance, the composer, the mastering and the music was pretty powerful, especially for the time that came out. I'm sure you all know I'm talking about Jolene. Other than that, I did not, again, I listen mainly to Middle Eastern music. However, I did know some things about her, including the fact that she had to work really hard to break through certain barriers of her time to become who she was. It wasn't that easy for a woman, for a female singer to become Dolly Parton during her time when today it is. Back then it wasn't. And for that, I admire her courage, her commitment to her gift, because that's what it is. She was gifted. She was born with a voice and the talent of recognizing the notes and the rhythm and the beat, because I can tell you there are many people with a good voice, but they don't have the ear. As a good friend of mine who's a music composer always says, like, the voice isn't enough, the ear isn't enough, you have to have them both. And she did. She was blessed to have them both, and she didn't give it up. She worked hard to get to where she was. For that, I have admired her. And when I saw the news, of course, it's sad news, and prayers are always requested by most families who lose their loved ones, especially her family. Then it also was the fact of, wow, what a timing, because this ties right into the topic of the day today. Before we really dive in and play the videos and show the pictures and talk about names and all of that, yesterday was a Monday, and Mondays are normally my very busy days of work when I do other people's work to pay the bills with. I finished up work pretty late, and as you know, I managed to put out my Monday Substack, which I encourage you to go and read it. From the feedback I've received so far, seems like I touched on a topic that many were expecting or waiting for someone to touch on, and that is Mamdani's 8 for 8 wins. I'm not going to go over it because it's not the topic. We might talk about it tomorrow. But the Substack is there. Go read it. By about 10 o'clock or 10:30, I was finally done with all the work. I finished the Substack for Friday, scheduled it. By 11:30, I was like, okay, I'm not necessarily sleepy, but I really want to put down the laptop. I want to shut down the whole, what's the next book about, all of that. So I went on YouTube and I looked up, some movies, and to my surprise, a movie that I've been hunting to find somewhere to watch was available. So I watched it. I watched the movie, and I also sent the information of the movie to a very, very close friend as well. And the movie is Iranian, of course. However, it does have English subtitles, so I encouraged him to watch it. I said, even if for nothing, just give him a viewership. And he did. And we were kind of texting in between of the movie at some point. Anyhow, I am going at some point to ask you to also watch it, and I will give you the information as to where to watch it. And that movie, when that movie was done, is when I was like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. And yes, the title of the show today is Shh, Girls Don't. Because girls don't. Because under Sharia, under Islam, girls don't. Just don't. But let's take a look at the trailer of the movie I am talking about, because we're going to talk about two movies, but this one, which is called Bidad in Farsi, Outcry in English. Let's roll clip number one, Thomas. We'll talk about it when we come back.
چه داغی منم داغم
تو من فقط میدونم که صدای زن باید زیر صدای مرد باشه
و این خواننده محبوب ستی
صدای من بین صدای اون همه آدم اصلا شنیده نمیشه. من میخوام تنهایی بخونم، همین فقط همین. دوباره داری میخوری؟ سویش از باد و باران گشته آشفته.
ترسید. الان دقیقاً 9 روز من الکل نخوردم. نگاه کن.
واقعا دمت گرم، خیلی باحال میخونی.
پشمام یه کشور بزن بیام پرنده چی
چیش میخوای؟
میکنی؟
علف میکنی؟
هم میسیریم شتاب و پشمام یا نه
خیلی دلم خوشه. موزه داره رو بلا میشه ما کنن.
خوش باید جمع کنی بری
برو خدا نداری منو ببرم.
بیا وایستا آقا این ستی چیه داستانش؟
لباس زیرت هم در بیار.
محسبم به خدا
در بیار.
I will strongly, double strongly, triple strongly encourage you and invite you, if you have access to YouTube, watch this movie. As you notice, there's full subtitles there. Just go to YouTube. I will post the direct link to it on all platforms after the show. However, you can just look, B like boy, I like ice, D like David, A like apple, D like David. That's B-I-D-A-D inside parenthesis, Outcry. B dot inside parenthesis, Outcry. Look it up, watch it. It is about 1 hour, 43 minutes. This movie was made inside Iran. This is important, you need to note. This was not some movie made by opposition or those of us outside of Iran. This was made inside Iran. The production took place inside Iran, the streets of Tehran, and all of that. It's the story of Seti, a young girl, gifted by an amazing voice and a sharp ear, who wants nothing of life except to be able to perform in front of live audience. And she does do it. As you saw, parts of the trailer, I'm not spoiling the movie, not that it needs much spoiling when you talk a woman, singer, public, story is telling itself. But she does. She goes and finds a very nice echoed stairs that you see on the trailer, and she sings. And by the way, the girl who played the role does the singing herself. That voice belongs to her. It's not some lip syncing scenario. However, anyways, the story goes to where it always goes, right? Girls and women are not supposed to be heard, let alone singing, The law of the country isn't the problem. Sharia is the problem. Under Sharia, the very verse in the Quran that says to wear your hijab properly also says not to even allow your heels to be heard by a man. So that's where it comes from for anyone who out there might think this is some Islamic Republic of Iran. Mullahs made it up. No, it is Sharia. Under Sharia, your voice shall not be heard, let alone your beautiful, powerful vocal on songs. So I encourage you to watch the movie because not only, of course, this movie was never aired or screened in Iran. Imagine that. Pretty much everyone involved with it are facing the consequences, but pray for them because they had the courage to make this movie. This wasn't about SETI. We will talk about them on the next segment because we're coming up on our ad break here in a minute. But this was to be the voice of the real life Iranian girls and women who were born with this gift from God that are being silenced, and they have to pick, or they are forced to pick to give up the gift that God has given them, right? So give them the support. As I said, there is subtitled. If I could watch it and carry on and, you know, control somewhat of my memories and PTSD, you can handle watching this movie. And it's time to toughen up anyways, right? Because it looks like soon you might all have that memory that we carry with ourselves. So watch the movie, give them the views, send the link to other people, post on your social media. Let this movie become what everyone watches. Again, not because it's a good movie, though it is, but because they finally managed to make a movie to tell the truth about what gifted women face in Iran if they ever dare try to tap into their God-given gifts, not for the money, not for the fame, not for half-naked outfits on a stage or shaking their booties as they do in America, but just to tap into that gift. And you, most of you know how much I love singing and dancing. And let me get sidetracked for a minute. For everyone who gets very upset when I post a TikTok that I'm either singing or dancing, one, this is America. Two, some of us had to stay quiet until we could find the country that wouldn't tell us to, shh, girls don't sing, and girls don't talk, and girls don't dance. So when I sing and when I dance, again, it's not for the click. Someone recently commented on one of my singing videos saying, you went from a serious hardcore Christian conservative to someone who's doing this now. I hope it's not for money. I am still very much a serious conservative anti-Sharia activist. That does not mean I should not tap into my God-given talents when I watch how they do it, knowing the consequences. Let me leave it here. When we come back, we'll go deeper into the real life stories that inspired Bidad or Outcry to be a movie. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Life is too short to spend a single moment spinning in laundry worries. Take a load off your mind with the all-new Norwex Powerzyme laundry detergent. This natural detergent harnesses the power of enzymes and plant-based surfactants to leave fabrics fresh and clean without fillers, brighteners, synthetic fragrances, bleach, or harsh chemicals. So go ahead, have your cake and eat it too. More than ever, stressful stains have met their match. Powerzyme's fast-acting enzymes break down organic substances while natural surfactants loosen locked-in dirt and oil, removing residue, stains, and odors with ease. With 91% bio-based ingredients, this dermatologist-tested hypoallergenic formula is suitable for sensitive skin types and delivers a safe and effective clean that won't harm you or the planet's waterways. Less time spent worrying about laundry means you can focus on what truly matters. Norwex Powerzyme Laundry Detergent. Discover the power of nature and load up on confidence.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. And yes, when I'm off air, I normally don't get to promote my one and only external affiliation that can support me financially. Norwex is a product. I've been using them for about a year and a half now, and they are 100% chemical free. They last a very long time. I don't even know how long, but very long time. And also because I'm a consultant with them, every time you make a purchase through my URL, which is cyruswellness.com, that's Cyrus, my last name, wellness.com, a portion of your purchase will turn around as a commission and come back to my bank account. So check it out. I know some of you are already clients, and thank you for your orders. If you haven't tried them, I can almost promise you, you will not be disappointed if you place an order. I just noticed that comments are building up, so let's take a minute to see the comments before we dive into the real life cases of girls and women who inspired the movie Bidad to come out. Hey, Christine, good to see you. Thank you. Christine says the covers on both of your books are excellent. Thank you. Believe it or not, you actually saw the original idea of the Qur'an paradox, but then I had to fight it, and I ended up somewhere else with it, almost somewhere else. But thank you. Though it is set and it is cliche, don't judge a book by its cover. We all know people do, so I figured the cover should kind of get the attention, hopefully. Hi, Annalise. Good to see you. Thank you, Lori. Yes, praise the Lord. It has been a good start. And Blur, thank you so much for placing your signed copy orders. And again, I should probably say this again, I do not physically have the signed copies. Therefore, when you're checking out, also on the website, there's a kind of a bold note that says the delivery could be 5 to 6 weeks. So please be patient if you order. I will encourage you to order them now because I'm limiting the quantity, just like I did with the Architecture of Jihad. We only have 250 copies of the Quran paradox on signed copies, and only 100 of the Architecture of Jihad. So, but when you do place your orders, be patient, because even when I do get the books, it's going to take me a minute to sign them. As I mentioned on the website, I do sign them, actually. They're not a stamp. They're not somebody else doing it. I do them one by one, sign them, and then package them and ship them. But I will greatly appreciate all of your orders as you place them in. Hey, go away. Good to see you. Drive safe as you're listening and driving. Hi, Don. Yes, I do have an idea. So Don is asking, because if you are a Cyrus Crew member on my Substack, which is the highest level of paid subscription, you will receive a free copy of the book, signed copy of the book. Don, that's the first batch that's going to go out as soon as I have the copies in my possession, which, Lord willing, is supposed to be somewhere between next Tuesday and next Thursday, September 1st and 3rd. So the latest, I would say, by September 4th, Friday, your copies are on their way to you, receiving them somewhere mid-week after. So, and again, if you would like to get the free copy and other exclusive programming, let's say, I do encourage you to become a Cyrus Crew paid member on my Substack, and yeah, your name will be added to the first batch of books to be sent out. Good. Okay, Annalise, apparently you lost the feed for a minute, but we are good. Annalise, I know this was a little earlier, but it is Bidad. B like boy, I like ice, D like David, A like apple, D like David, B-I-D-A-D. In parentheses, Outcry, the channel that's playing it, they have it in both names, so you can just put it all together. You'll find them right away. Yes, it is on YouTube. It is for free. You don't have to have like YouTube paid or YouTube Red or YouTube TV. It's literally just for free to watch. It does not run any ads in between. Well, YouTube does it, but the movie itself does not have any interruptions. So you can. Yes, Sue-Ann. They cannot even allow their footsteps to be heard. That is one of the verses and one of the topics we will dissect in our deep dive into the Quran paradox on Substack, which will be starting on the 3rd week of September. Again, it's going to be the live deep dives are only available to paid subscribers, and then the after or our archive will be available only to subscribers on Substack. Here's another good reason for you to sign up for my Substack, either the normal paid subscription or the Cyrus Crew. You will have access to our live streaming of deep dives into Quran paradox, when we will talk about the verses that I didn't even have the room to put into the book. And that will be one of them, when we will talk about women and the specific verses in the Quran. When they tell you it's not Quran, you can have the actual verse to tell them, well, it is. Thank you, Christine. Me too. I love those TikTok videos. Appreciate that. Okay, I think Go Away said you shouldn't have to explain yourself for sharing your singing, dancing clips. Too many people up in your business. Yes, Go Away. There was a time, not to turn this about me, but to turn this about just a glimpse at my life. There was a time where we genuinely had to put a disclaimer on there: any kind of purchase, support, donation, subscription, that your financial support does not give you access to my behavior, my looks, or my production. Because there are people, I don't know, for some reason to think if they're supporting you with like $10 a year, then they can tell you exactly what to say, what to do, what not to do. And then there are other people who think being a serious Christian conservative means you should just be in your pajamas all day long and only talk about one specific topic, which is left is bad, atheism is worse, Islam is the worst of it all, and if you do anything outside of that, you are not. I had someone who said, people will not take you serious if you ever decide to run for office. And again, you know, I'm pretty quick on my feet, so my response was like, listen, honey, we have a bartender who did bartending and dancing on the bar who is a congresswoman today, referring to AOC. So I'm pretty sure my very gracious, traditional 2,800 years old moves of proper dance is not going to avoid voters to vote for me. But again, as I said, fixing a stupid is not something I try to do. Thank you, Don. Yes, I'm so glad you love you like your products of Norwex, and I know you have a regular order that I see them come in. So they're good. Thank you, Sue Ann. I appreciate that. Yes, second book is out. Yes, Annalise, I do get those comments. That's a good point. I did another TikTok to say, you know, those who stick their nose into your business and your life, it's not because they have a problem with what you're doing. It's the fact that they got a problem with the fact that they don't have a life. So they try to take yours and, you know, down because that's the problem. You know, they don't have a life. And again, it's like, what are you even doing stalking my page? Why is it that every time I post, you have something to say about it? Not a good thing to say about it, but something to tell me that I'm off the rail and this is not what I should do, and I should have spent this time. Somebody's like, that instead of spending time on TikTok, you could do your show. I was like, let me tell you the difference. A TikTok is about 45 seconds. Doing my show is 1 hour on air and about an hour preparation, and then an hour to get ready. So 3 hours versus 45 seconds. No, skipping my TikTok will not allow me the time to do my show. Anyhow, this coffee is actually helping. I'm going to read a few more comments, and then we go to our next ad break. We come back and continue on. Yes, Lori, you know. Hello, Heather. I was just about to head over to Rumble to say hi to you as well, but it is good to see you. Yes, Lori, this mug has, I don't know why, you know, sometimes you just have a bunch of mugs, but then one of them becomes your absolute favorite. This thing, I think you can track this mug on all of my videos for a good 4 years. I better not break it today. Hey, Pookie, good to see you. Thank you. Yes, last night on Brannon House Live, myself, Brannon, and Yosama, that was a great segment. I was definitely enjoying it. And again, pretty much, as you know, most people don't cover what we do, so it was good to know that we're covering something people are not covering. Hi, Like Jury, good to see you. I am scanning at your information that you're giving on Dolly Parton. As I said, I was not a fan. I did not follow her. But when credit is due, I give. I don't agree with a lot of people's policies, politics, faith, religion, life choices, but that does not mean that if they did something major, I'm gonna brush it off under the rug just because apparently she was pro LGBT, I guess. Anyhow, and yes, guys, if you did not know, thank you for reminding me, Pookie. I will be joining Sharon Hadian, Pastor Sharon Hadian, next Tuesday, not today, next Tuesday at noon on his show to discuss the book and also, other stuff that we always do. So make sure to join us next Tuesday, noon Eastern Time, on Sharon Hadian's channels. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and take our next ad break. I'm pretty sure we're up for it, and I'm a little late on it. No, we're right on time. When we come back, we talk talented women who dared tap into their gifts. Be right back. Well, hello, everybody. It's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my artist studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. Finish this painting, but I'm sure, or at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com. Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. I sometimes feel like if I don't take these ad breaks, I forget to plug things. Yes, LUTF Studio. It's my artist studio where I make everything with my own hand. Majority of products are resin, but Lord willing, some of the acrylic paintings will be coming back as well. I do custom orders. Many of you have ordered the custom orders of this very necklace, actually, the heart necklace, which is flipped. There we go. In different colors or the red. So lutfstudio.com, and for my audience, we have a promo code MISSION. You put in MISSION, you get 10% off, and if you want to place a custom order, just click contact a store owner or artist, and you can place your custom orders. So, Christine says you should put a black drop cloth behind your items for sale. I'm guessing you're talking about the pictures I take for the artist studio. Normally it depends. Some of them I have the red background for them. Some of them I have the white. Some I have gray. So depending on the color, I'll put them there. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate it. So there we go. lutfstudio.com is where you can get my artwork and support my work as well. For those of you who just joined, you can also now pick up a copy or copy of both my books. Signed copies are available on my website, liveuptofreedom.com. If you do not want to pick up a signed copy, all other formats of hardcover, paperback, Kindle, and audiobook are available on Amazon. Just go on Amazon, look up the Qur'an Paradox. I appreciate your support. Let's do this. About a year ago, maybe more, I covered a story that no one else covered. Well, that's okay. But then recently, the story resurfaced in a major way, which is awesome. But if it would have been picked up earlier, maybe we could have made a difference. I'm not going to go there. I promise today is about these ladies. At least I'm going to try. We covered a story about a year or a little bit more than a year ago of this beautiful, talented, amazing voice young lady who decided to do a mock or fake concert. What I mean by that is she put her band together. They practiced for a full 2-hour performance. They went live on YouTube, streamed the entire 2 hours, and she performed as she is on a stage with live audience. Amazing performance. And I understand the Farsi is not going to be helpful for you, but we are going to play only a 2-minute of her performance, my favorite song that she performed that night or that day on her online concert. And we're going to play it. So one, you can all enjoy the gift of not just voice, but the beauty and the grace of this woman. And again, if you're more of a language, I suggest you close your eyes and just listen to the power of this voice. We're going to play that 2 minutes, and then we'll talk about Parastu, that's her name, Parastu Ahmadi. We'll talk about this year and a half or so ago versus today and how that's related to the movie Bidad. Can we roll clip 2, please?
عزیز جون دست من بردار من عزیز جون دست من برگردن ته چرا خونه مرا کردی تو شیشه به درگاه خدا نالم همیشه
Yeah, as I said, we covered her story a year and a half ago when she was arrested after this concert. And she knew she will be. And this is where courage comes to picture, guys. Again, she's beautiful. The voice is amazing. Talent is there. Very gracious. Yeah. She looks very classy. And she did what she did, knowing what's going to happen to her. Why did her story resurface? Is because recently she was finally sentenced to 74 lashes. 74 lashes. Spending about a year and a half in prison and then serving 74 lashes attached to, if she ever does this again, if her voice is ever played again, if she does on a street performance or another video or Instagram, you name it, she will serve longer sentences. Why did I say if we would have paid attention earlier is, again, I know, Javichot, Hawaiian Jung, good to see you. It's, we've seen where international pushback has made a difference, but not with Parasu's case. It wasn't covered. I covered it, few other Iranians covered it, and it was left there. Now everybody's trying to overturn the whole 74 lashes. Who's going to give her years back? And what has happened to her in that time of present time? Who's going to fix that? Nobody. And I want to be very clear, again, for anyone who might have the urge to just suddenly come with, it's Iran and it's their problem. Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, are you stopping that problem from crawling around your house? No. So yes, I cover this because, again, it's very close to my heart. I have always enjoyed, maybe it's a sexist thing, I've always enjoyed a talented female vocalist over a male. But I don't know. I think it's a God thing. I think when a woman can sing so beautifully in whatever octave or whatever note, it's just so powerful. And again, I was also, quietly, I'm so good at quietly singing. Because remember, I accidentally let my voice go with a friend of mine on the street, and I was arrested and lashed for singing publicly. So yes, it is a bias, but also I need you to see these people. The movie is great. I want you to watch it, but I want you to know that this is not some made-up movie. Real life people are behind what happens in Bidad movie has happened over and over and over. And it doesn't seem to bother anyone. Not their cases, but the fact that what has caused their cases, it's right here down the street, and we're doing nothing except what? Either nada or just big bunch of keyboard ninjas, because we don't want to take actions. Let's go over a few more cases of female singers, talented singers. I'm not going to play all the videos. We have one more video to play, but if we can, let's pop up Hiba picture, just for you to put a face on the name. It's not necessarily so much of Hiba is the most recent case, August 20, 5 days ago. Hiba was sentenced to 5 years in prison for daring to sing a record and put it on her Instagram. She was charged with 5 charges, all against Sharia and the rule of Iran, and was sentenced to 5 years in prison for singing. After a lot of fighting, the sentence was dropped to 4 years. Oh, look at that. They have so much mercy. And then we have Anita. Anita was sentenced in July of 2026. She was sentenced to 74 lashes. Again, lashes. Can we put up Anita's picture real quick, please? She did on Instagram, and she also did a street performance. She was arrested at one of her street performances, actually. She dared to go on the street, in a corner, wherever, and start just singing. No music involved, no orchestra, no band, and she just sang. And one of these times, she was busted. She was arrested by morality police. She was taken to detention center and then court and spent a good time in prison, and finally was sentenced in July to 74 lashes. Again, that's courage. If you don't see that as courage, I do. And then last but not least, again, this is not limited, okay, but again, it's a show. I can't just, there are hundreds of names, but these are the most recent. This one, let's play her clip, because the character, the voice again must be heard, but her character, it just melts your heart as to why she is so locked down. Let's roll the next clip, please.
عاشق میشم دنیا برام رنگ وقتی که من عاشق میشم ترانه
That video went viral. And I wonder, again, maybe I'm emphasizing too much. It is not easy to stand in a bus with no music backup, because sometimes the backup of music helps you with hitting the notes and staying within your octave. But just letting your voice go like that in that country while not wearing a hijab. After that video went viral, she was arrested at her home. Well, her parents' home. And for, I believe, 2 months or so, the family couldn't even locate her. The concern was that she was killed. Again, praise the Lord, she wasn't. But they couldn't even find her location. They had no idea where she's been taken to. And she has not been sentenced yet. So I can't tell you if she's going to serve like 700 lashes or 70 lashes or 5 years of I don't know what's going to happen to her. But the list goes on and on. You can genuinely look them up. If you look up Iranian woman arrested or sentenced for public singing. And by the way, the public isn't always like SETI or Paris do. Sometimes it's literally just you saying, you post it on your social media, or you sang, somebody else recorded it, put it on their social media, and it went viral. That's still considered public singing, because public can hear you, and that's against Sharia. And apparently all Muslim men cannot have zero self-control, right? They hear a woman singing, and I mean, I should control my mouth at this point. So yes, Zara, the last case we just watched, these are the four most recent cases that I could bring to you. Let's just start with, let's pray for them. Every name we talk today, none of them ever went back to, none of them released another video or did the public or say, none of them. It just, again, they were forced to silence themselves. And I'm sure every one of you can relate what would have happened if you were forced to put down your passion, your gift, whatever that might be. It doesn't have to be singing, it doesn't have to be dancing, it doesn't have to be art, it can be whatever. Imagine when, at that young age especially, you're forced, and the force isn't just a threat, it's when you face the consequences of doing what you did. It becomes much harder, and as many of them always say, is when you realize how alone you are. Because, again, there is no international outrage, there's no international support. They are alone by standard of any human. So most of them chose to go home and never do it again, and stay in their bedroom if they need to sing, and kill that gift. Kill that voice, kill that passion and love. And again, all of this comes back to Sharia, Islam, the very cult that we are providing protection to, pretending to protect them because it's our First Amendment, not acknowledging that this is not a religion. A religion does not punish a woman for singing. It's singing. It's singing. There is, and again, I wanted to play some of the videos, show you some of the faces. It's. Let's go take an ad break. When we come back, I'll read the rest of the comments. We'll be right back.
News is moving faster than ever, and so are we. Worldview Tube brings you 24/7 live stream coverage and now real-time alerts when it matters most. Once you have the Worldview Tube app installed, exit the app and navigate your way to Settings. In Settings, locate the tab labeled Notifications. Select the Notifications tab. Scroll down until you locate the Worldview Tube app icon. Select the tab, and here you can turn on and customize your notification experience for the Worldview Tube app. News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Turn on push notifications to stay informed. Every headline, as it happens.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. So yes, let's on Bidad movie. Let's pray for all women under Sharia. Let's pray for them as they suffer in so many ways. But today's discussion is in the way of simply singing. Question on the comment section from Lori. Annie, are the Iranians allowed to leave the country at any time, or are they held hostages in their country? I need to explain. It's neither of those simply. Iranians who? Women, they cannot leave at any point they want. They can't even get a passport. So if in order to get a passport, you need a male guardian's authorization. It's an actual written authorization. And you can't just take a paper. The male guardian needs to show up with you, sign the paper right there at the passport office showing their ID to prove who they are. If you get the approval from male guardian, you'll get your passport. After getting the passport, you can't just buy a flight and go somewhere. If you do that, when you get to the border, they will turn you around. You also need the male guardian approval for the destination you're traveling to and the time you're traveling to. That's for female. For male, depends. You don't get your passport until you finish your mandatory military 2 years military service. After you finish that, if you finish that, which you are eligible to volunteer to go for your military term at 16. At times, you can be 14 if your father or grandfather approve of your volunteer registration. You can do that too. But by 16, you're eligible. By 18, you're dragged into military unless you are a college student. Then they give you time until you finish your college or your education. Then you go get the you go do the service. After you finish that, whatever age you are, then you can get your passport. Yes. Now, when you get your passport, you need to pass the criminal check, background check, and you know what criminal means in Iran. If you were ever arrested for wearing a short or singing or having a girlfriend, whatever the case might be, then you will be declined and will not get your passport. If not, you get your passport, but at any given moment, the government has the right to block you, regardless of male or female at this point. They will block you from exiting the country. So certain circumstances that are usual is, for example, if you owe money, the person you owe money to or the bank can request the blockage, so you cannot leave the country until you pay off whatever debt you have. The other one is if you have an open case with morality police or any other law enforcement, they will block your exit from the country until that case is closed. And yeah, I hope that answered your question. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as a yes or a no, depending on the circumstances. Now, if you are one of the mullah's son and you are planning to go do your Mecca visit or go to one of the religious countries or stuff, absolutely, immediately, you're good to go. They might even cover your cost of travels. I'm not kidding. They might cover your cost of travel. So that is what it is. Yes, Heather, right? That's the thing. I'm going to introduce the movie, but I'm going to tell you about the real life people. This movie wasn't made just to be made or some fake news to try to over exaggerate or show people a side that doesn't exist. Again, when I originally told my story of being arrested for singing and being lashed, I genuinely had people like, well, you know, they wouldn't even believe me. I'm like, oh, okay. And then years pass and there's internet now. When you see the picture, you see the video, you see the sentence thing, and you're like, oh, wait, no, they seriously lash people for singing? They do. They do. And again, I was nowhere near as courageous as these young ladies. Mine was an absolute, I got a pretty high volume. I just got carried away. It was an accident, right? I'm not going to take credit for, oh, I was such a rebel, I just started doing it publicly. No. But yes, Heather was saying people think it's made up, and it's not. It's not. It is as real as it is. Now, you see more reports coming out of Iran because, again, I'll take it back to Iranians have always rebelled against this. They have fought back against the Islamization of their country. So yes, there are cases of Afghan and Pakistani girls that have faced these consequences, but there's a bigger number of Iranian girls who are fighting back. And again, with what you witnessed, or what we witnessed during January and February of this year, you know, the Gen Z in Iran is absolutely done. They are fine. They're willing to die. They're just done with it. And now you see why. These simple acts, this is human nature again. I used to say I was such a, why do I keep using this word today? I don't know, whatever. I was such a rebel and I kept, doing the wrong things. Later on in life, I'm like, no, sweetheart, you were just a normal teenager. I was punished for being a normal teenager, and the rest of them are as well. So the Gen Z in Iran is done not being normal. They're done not following their nature. So they do it, they know the consequences, and they still do it. Until one day, as they say, not my words, theirs, they either die trying or they will set themselves free. Because, well, at this point, everybody knows in Iran that nobody's coming to rescue. So, Annalise says, what is it with the number of 74 for lashes? How is that chosen? So some of the crimes, hudud is called, some of the crimes are preset inside Sharia itself as to what the punishment is, including how many lashes. Other crimes that are not mentioned because it didn't exist back then or whatever the case might be, they are set by the supreme leader, approved by the guardian, the council of guardians, who are a bunch of muftis. They are set and reviewed every year. So, for example, adultery. Adultery is 99 lashes. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this because somebody has said this. Anyways, at one setting, the punishment cannot be more than 99 lashes. If the crime, for whatever reason, piles up, 200 lashes, then it has to be broken down into 3 separate segments, and each appointment, what do we call it? Each time of serving the sentence must be at least 10 days apart. So you serve your 200 some sentences, and yes, it does happen. I can give you an example. If you end up with over 200 lashes, you serve the first set. Now, the judge can say, do the 99 and the 99, right? And then the remaining 20 or so is the last one. Or the judge can say do 50, 75, 50. They can break it down however they want. At that point, the breakdown of the 3 different sessions are up to the judge. And normally that is decided by the judge looks at you, how you react, how you talk. If they don't like you, they send the first one on 99. And in 10 days, the 99 is barely healed. But that's not their problem. It's your problem. So they do the first one, and then they schedule the next one for 10 days, they schedule the next one for 10 days, and on and on and on. So the 74 is actually the supreme leader setup. It has been since Khomeini, the first guy, until today. Nobody has adjusted it. So when you commit a crime that is against the morality of Sharia, public singing, not wearing proper hijab, the first offense is 74 lashes. It is mentioned if you pull up the Iran's penal code, which is available in English. That's something that I might dig into in some of the shows soon. But if you pull up the penal code, you'll see it. The list is there. In some cases, it's 74 lashes plus this much fine plus this much prison time. But the number 7, I guess Khomeini likes 74. There is no specific Sharia related to. However, this specific group of crimes are within authority of the supreme leader of the country to pick how many lashes. And 74 applies to bad hijab, public singing for girls, drinking alcohol. If you're ever caught drinking alcohol, first offense at 74. So almost all the against morality of Sharia punishments are 74 in Iran. don't know exactly why. I'm going to keep it scrolling to see if I got any more question. Yes, Christine, they are alone, but they're very strong. That part I will tell you. It's a Persian thing. When by history and race you have gone through so much, because your culture and your land has been constantly under attack by the enemies of all sorts, from Mongolians to Alexander to Muhammad. It's like culturally being strong becomes part of how you live life anyways. Sue Ann says, so every male Muslim who has immigrated to USA has done 2 years military service. Well, you say Muslim. You mean real Muslims from Iran? Yes. Other countries, other Islamic countries don't have this requirement. Iran has the requirement. If they are real Muslims from Iran, yes. If they escaped Iran, which then I can guarantee you they're not Muslims, and they will tell you as well, then no. They got out the way I did. They were smuggled out of the country into most likely either Iraq, Turkey, or Turkey, as you say, and then went to UN from there, or went through different smugglers to get to Europe or somewhere else. So that's normally the case. Since we are allowed to go over, I'm so glad I mentioned that. Let's do this. We're on top of the hour. We're going to take our next ad break. Let's do that, and then when we come back, we're gonna touch on our second movie to do the rest of the show. Be right back.
What if millions around the world could access Bible teaching and worldview training for free right now without hitting a paywall? That's exactly what happens every day at worldviewtube.com because of the Worldview Weekend Foundation. We don't lock our live stream behind PayPal. We don't restrict our content to members only. Instead, the Worldview Weekend Foundation helps cover the cost of delivering free educational and ministry programming to people across the nation and around the world. And it's not just programming. My Sunday night church service, where I taught verse by verse through Revelation for 18 months, and now I am teaching through the book of Daniel, is made possible through the support of our church, Worldview Weekend Foundation. If you believe this kind of truth-centered biblical teaching must continue, donate today. Go now to worldviewfoundation.com. You'll also find our mailing address and phone number there if you'd rather give by phone or mail. That's worldviewfoundation.com. Thank you.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me. To just recap, since it's been an hour, again, I encourage you to watch the movie. We played the trailer earlier during the show. It's Bidad. That's B like boy, I like ice, D like David, A like apple, D like David, in parentheses, Outcry. It's available on YouTube. It does have subtitles, so you will pretty much understand everything that's going on. Give them the support. Again, even if you don't want to watch it, even if you get to a scene where you don't have the heart, walk away from the room, but play that in different devices, give them the viewership. Let's help them get on the algorithm and more people come across the movie. But if you do have the heart, if you do have the patience to read subtitles, watch the movie, because again, when I ask you to pray for these people, all prayers are wonderful, but when you feel their pain, when you see the legit truth of what they do face, when they do what they do, it just seems to be a little different. And also, again, that's a good educational tool. You'll learn, you see. You may not feel it through your body, but you feel it through your soul and your heart, and that's different. The second movie we must touch, and this one is also available on YouTube. There are a few different versions. This is an older movie, but it is available on YouTube. There's a few different channels do have it with subtitles. So again, I will encourage you to watch this one as well. The title of the movie literally is Hush, Girls Do Not Scream. It's Hush, Girls Do Not Scream. The trailer I picked does not have subtitle, but that's okay. I want you to just, I don't know how long it is, but let's roll the last clip, which is the trailer of Hush, Girls Don't Scream. I'll tell you the story of the movie, and then we're going to go through the real life examples of it.
چی میخواد از دست مراد فرار کنه؟
یعنی یه دونه میخوام درست کنم رنگ لباسش.
آبرو تو میبرم، آبروی خود خانواده.
قربانی خانواده قربانی به دلیل حفظ آب روی جنایتکار سرپوش میذارن و با اون در واقع همدست.
بچه من یه دقیقه از این خونه بیرون نمونده تا الان بیرون.
شهاب حسینی، مریلا زارعی، تناز طباطبایی، بابک حمیدیان، امیر آقایی، جمشید هاشمپور، فرهاد آیش، هادی مرزبان، مائده طهماسبی، شیرین بینا، نیما صفایی. هیس، دخترها فریاد نمیزنند. تهیه کننده و کارگردان پوران درخشنده. محبوب ترین فیلم 31مین جشنواره فیلم فجر به انتخاب تماشاگران. پخش از فیلم ایران.
Life's going pretty good for this young lady. She's about to get married. On the night of her wedding, she stabs and kills a man. I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but again, story is she snaps at the night of her wedding when she hears a little girl crying and screaming. PTSD, flashback, she stabs the guy who reminded her of the guy who raped her repeatedly when she was a child. She loses the case. She is not winning. This is not self-defense. It is not PTSD. It's the rape case of her own is declined by the government, and on and on. Now, again, movie story, you know, it's not Hollywood, but it is good movie for, again, its time. But let's start with Rayhana Jabari, one of the rare names that actually made its way out of Iran when it was happening. Especially the picture I picked for Rayhana Jabari became so sadly the most popular picture of her. Let me know, Thomas, if you can put that up. Rayhana was arrested for stabbing and killing a client. The truth of the matter proven by her lawyers was the client, she was an interior designer. She was hired by a client to do the interior design of his office. The client had ties to the government. He tried to rape her. She defended herself and stabbed him. He died. So did Rayhana. They proved the case, but they didn't have the witnesses to testify to the rape or the attempt of it. So she was executed in the morning in October. And that was a great set of a standard over and over for Iranian girls and women that, again, shh, girls don't, right? How you don't defend yourself. Furthermore, don't tell anyone about what happened to you, because you might be the one to be hanged by the government. Because under Sharia, for a woman, which is including a girl of age 9 and up, you need 4 male witnesses to testify that you were raped. And let's be honest, that's literally never possible. So Rayhana is a great example, almost fitting, so perfectly fitting for the story of the movie Hush, Girls Don't Scream. And then, again, many cases, I want to be very clear, due to not having enough time, I don't want you to think this is it, or for any reason I favored one name over other, but it's We don't have enough time, but we have Samira. Samira was, I just gave it away, but she was forced to marriage at 15, so she was a child bride. A child bride who was married up. I mean, what do you expect? What will a man who bought you at 15 do to you? Pamper you and cherish you and love you? No. I promise you, that's not the case. A man who's willing to take you at 15 is not going to do those. So what he did was, well, abuse her. Samira was abused over and over in all forms, physical, sexual, emotional, for years, until one day she decided to not take the abuse anymore. Long story short, Samira was executed in 2023, charged and convicted of murder. And the husband's family, actually, they wanted qisas, is what it's called. They wanted qisas. They wanted her executed. So she was hanged in 2023 and is no longer with us. There you go. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And sometimes when I sit here and tell you that, praise the Lord, I am so blessed. This is why. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't. There's a breaking point for every human, because we're humans. And these girls and these women reached their breaking point one way or another. Those who gave up on singing, to those who freed themselves, or Rayhana, who defended herself. She decided to keep her dignity, knowing she will be killed for defending herself. She fought off her rapist and killed him. I'm not promoting murder. I am saying, in this country, in America, if that happened, it would have been very different. Not in Islamic countries, most specifically not in Iran. And I want you to understand every single day, as you kind of possibly enjoy, or maybe not even enjoy, your freedoms. Ladies, I'm talking to you directly. Now, it's ladies' time. Every day when you might enjoy your freedoms, or you even forget you have them, there are, not one, but there are many girls and women who are making the impossible choice, who are facing the choices made for them, who are facing the consequences of the choices made for them or choices they made. And all they want is to have the basics that me and you forget how blessed we are with. So let me try to close this by saying, let their memories, those who are no longer with us, their courage, okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. We had a moment of technical difficulty there. But yeah, when you wake up tomorrow, wake up grateful. Instead of trying to search around and find something to complain about in this country, wake up and thank the Lord for putting you here instead of over there. If you have a talent, tap into it. Even if not for yourself, do it for them. If you have a voice, I saw Annalise and Lori get back on singing. Not even publicly, just sing in your kitchen and do it for them. I've always said I do my dance videos for them. If you have a talent, do it for them. And also be their voice. Just randomly tell people about them. You don't have to memorize their names. Just tell people what is happening to these girls, to these women. And also, stop it from coming here, as your daughters and your granddaughters are going to be these names one day if you do not stop the Islamization of America. Just a quick reminder, the book is out, The Quran Paradox. Great tool for you to learn a lot more about what you're fighting. The Quran Paradox is available on Amazon on all 4 formats of hardcover, paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. Also, signed copies are available on my website. liveuptofreedom.com is where you can get your signed copies. I encourage you to place your orders of signed copies or not, because, well, we need more of this information out there. And when you read the book, then you can loan the book to someone or tell them about what you read, and let's educate the public, because this midterm is about to, well, flood us with Islamists, and I will try to bring more stories like today's for you to know. Go watch the movie Bidad, B-I-D-A-D, Outcry in parentheses. Also, find a movie with subtitle of Hush, Girls Do Not Scream. Watch them. You need to see this. You need to understand what could be here and what is already over there. The very country we're negotiating with. Just watch it. And Lord willing, I will be back tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and stay vigilant. Thank you so much for being with me. Bye, guys.